Well, hi everyone. We're back talking about another homeopathic remedy that can be used for everyday self-care. I'm going to start a series now on travel remedies. Since this is the peak of the summer travel season, there are a number of remedies readily available, very cheap in the health food store that you can use that are very, very helpful when you travel. In fact, I call these the top 10 remedies you should never travel without. And I've listed them on my website. If you go to drkathyfry.com and click on the link, send me your email and I will email you the list. It's completely free. And it's the top 10 remedies you should never travel without, and you can get them at any health food store. If you can't get them in the health food store, I've provided you a link to Amazon, and you can get those remedies for $10 or about $10, and they'll mail it right to your house. So the remedy I'm going to start with today is a remedy called Argentum Nitricum. This is a remedy made from silver nitrate, and it's called Argentum Nitricum. And you want to get the 30C potency. This one shows the 6C potency because I wanted you to be able to read it better, because the one I have, the 30C potency, is a little harder to read. But it's the same remedy, but you want to get the 30C potency. You can get this in the health food store. And this is the remedy that people need who are scared to death to fly, and they start getting worked up about it a week, 2 weeks before they travel. They can't stop talking about it. They worry about it. They lose sleep about flying. What if something happens? What if they get sick? What if the plane crashes? What if they throw up? They are just obsessed about it, and they talk about it all the time. They tend to be really loquacious or talkative people, and they tend to be agitated, nervous, and hot. So they're like hot and sweaty. So I often travel, and it's amazing how many times I am traveling, sitting next to someone or someone across the aisle, and I can see that they are scared to death to travel. So sometimes if I have the remedy with me, I'll offer it to a stranger, and sometimes I won't, depending on whether or not I feel like they'll be open to taking it or not. But I have used these remedies, homeopathic remedies. I travel with them all the time, and I can't tell you how many times I've been called as a physician on a plane, where stewardess calls and says, or the flight attendant calls and says, is there a doctor on board? And because I have homeopathic remedies that I always travel with, I'm oftentimes able to help people for panic attacks, nausea, motion sickness, and I always carry those remedies. So the remedy that you want to get for fear of flying is called Argentum Nitricum. This one says the 6C potency, but you want to get the 30C potency. And those you can get at the health food store, or you can go to Amazon. I've given you the link to Amazon for this particular remedy. It'll take you right to there. And it costs you $10. You have them mail it to your house. And how you take it is, when you get a little bottle like this, you screw the cap, and when you screw the cap, a pellet will drop into the bottle, into the cap of the bottle, and you just open it up and just pop it under your tongue. Sometimes it'll say on the bottle, take 5 or 10 pellets. You really don't need to take more than one. The remedy comes in a pellet, and the pellet is a carrier for the energy that's released when the remedy is made in a homeopathic pharmacy. So homeopathic remedies work differently than conventional medicine or even herbs. They don't work biochemically, they work energetically. And they work at stimulating your body's ability to heal itself. So this little pellet that comes in the little cap there, it works more like an acupuncture needle than it does a conventional drug or herbs. It stimulates your body's ability to heal itself. And we choose the remedy based on what your symptoms are. So if you are nervous about flying, you start thinking about it a week or 2 or a month before you're going to travel, you get all worked up about it. If you're hot, sweaty, and that's all you can talk about, and you're so anxious about it, then the remedy you need from the health food store. It's called Argentum Nitricum. The link I sent you is right there at Amazon, or you can get it in the health food store, Argentum Nitricum 30C. If you want to know more about these remedies, then you can get the information in my book called What's the Remedy for That? The Definitive Homeopathy Guide to Mastering Everyday Self-Care Without Drugs. That's a great little book that I wrote that teaches you how to use the 60 remedies that you can get in most health food stores that are made by Boiron. And it covers all conditions, everything from allergies to warts. And there's a specific section in here for travel. So all the remedies for food poisoning, mosquito bites, sunstroke, motion sickness, any of those ailments, the most common things that happen when you travel. It also discusses how you travel when you take a remedy. So if you're going to the airport, it's really important that you don't let your remedies go through the x-ray machine. When you go to the security, you ask them to please hand check your remedy. So what I do when I travel is I have a little lead-lined bag. I open that up and I put all my remedies in the little white container that you use for keys or extra change, and you hand that to the TSA agent and ask them to hand check it. And what they do is they swab it to make sure it doesn't have explosive dust on it, and then you're good to go. It can go through the metal detector, it just can't go through the x-ray, because if it goes through the x-ray, then it renders it completely invalid. So that's what I would recommend when you travel is, and I get a lead-lined bag from a film store online, the old bags I used to use for old kinds of old style film. Back in the days when we had real film, now that we have just digital cameras. But you can get a lead-lined bag, and I keep that in my carry-on bag, and it protects the remedies from the radiation that we get when we're on an airplane. Do you know that when you travel across country in the United States, it's the equivalent of about getting one chest x-ray of radiation. So I tend to keep my remedies safe from that. Because I don't want them weakened over time, and I never let them go through the x-ray machine at the airport. They're so used to me traveling through the airport in Denver with my remedies, they all know who I am now, and they pretty much just swab them down and let me go. So that's the information. If you'd like more on what these remedies are and you want to get the top 10 remedies to never travel without, and go to my website. I left you a link here, it's a www.drkathyfry.com. It's spelled drkathifry.com. And there's also a link to Amazon to my book, What's the Remedy for That? And there's also a link to Amazon where you can order the remedy Argentum Nitricum if you don't happen to live close to a health food store. So that's enough for now. Next time we're going to talk about one other remedy that's good for fear of flying. That has a completely different set of symptoms than Argentum Nitricum, and we're going to talk about that in more detail. So until next time, safe travels. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.